topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from top local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to experts in family law, association law, hearing loss, business brokers, home care, along with many other topics. Now here are your hosts, Steve-O and Sophia.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to Ask the Experts. We have added a new show today, and it'll be pretty interesting to see how it comes out. This is the new Mega at the Dinner Table. You know, they keep telling you don't bring politics up at the dinner table, but you know what? I think it should be brought up because I think people should be educated. And you'll see I am a conservative. I'm a proud conservative. Hey, now it's pretty cool to be for Trump now. Gosh, I wore my hat the other day, and I can't tell you how many people came up to me and said, "Hey, love the hat." People are excited about this new wave that's coming on. And I guess we could actually start with, you know, what's going on in Israel. And I got to tell you, I watched the president's farewell speech last night. And by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, we've got a chat box that you can actually enter your question in that we'll be more than happy to respond to. We also have a guest coming on. I hope she can make it. She owns a restaurant in Oakland Park, very famous restaurant, and she is very much into politics like I am. Uh, One of the things as a conservative, I will not put down a liberal at all. It's kind of like religion, you know. I have my religion, and you can have yours. Just don't trek on my religion, and I won't trek on yours. And the same thing with politics. I mean, you can be for whoever you want to be. And I've got to where the only way I get into politics if someone has a question for me. And then I'm going to give my true advice, whether they like it or not. But it's God, there's just a whole different feel now that you can feel people are excited about what's getting ready to happen in the next 4 or 5 days. I think it's next Monday, the inauguration. Uh, I would advise, I'm going to tell people this, I would advise not to go to the inauguration. And I know that sounds strange because it's for our new President Trump, but I got to tell you, it's crazy. You know, conservatives, Republicans got blamed for January 6th, and now they're finding out that there was a lot of FBI agents in the crowd, exciting the crowd, and there was people who didn't even go in who are still sitting in jail. Um, so I just don't, you know, I don't trust. For right now, I would say if you're going not to go, it's better to be safe. Some of those people sitting in those jails in DC are saying, I wish I hadn't gone. But um, it's up to you. You do what you, they say they have plenty of security. I want to start off that we're here in Florida, and uh, Ron DeSantis, our great governor, just made a announcement he's going to be replacing uh, Mr. Rubio, our new. Um, he's no longer going to be the senator of Florida, Marco Rubio, and he has chosen our AG of Florida, uh, Ashley, and I can't believe I cannot remember her name to save my life, but she is going to be our new senator. And listen, she's done a great job here in Florida after she took over for Pam Bondi. So we're really excited about that. I think you made a good choice. I guess we'll soon find out. Uh, and something else that I want, her name, Ashley Moody. She's the one who's been chosen to take Marco Rubio's Senate seat. And then President Trump, this is really strange. President Trump wants Vivek Ramaswamy to take J.D. Vance's seat in Ohio in the Senate. I know President Trump had these plans for him to work with Elon Musk, but I guess, President Trump knows best. Uh, he would like Vivek to take over that seat, and he'll probably because it's offered by the governor, and I'm sure if Mr. DeWine, the governor of Ohio, if President Trump came to him and said, "Would you please do me a favor?" I bet he would. So those are some changes that are getting ready to happen. I saw Mike Pence, Vice President Mike Pence, and I want to tell you, I actually had him on my show about 5 years ago, and he actually had a really good show. He had actually told me he only wanted to come on for um, 10 minutes because they all are on a schedule, and he ended up staying the whole hour. So if you're a talk show host and that happens, that's really a good sign that um, whoever you're interviewing is happy with the way the interview is going. But I got to tell you something, Mike Pence is just, I got to tell you, his political career is now over. He is actually out there soliciting senators not to vote for Robert Kennedy. I remember when uh, Pence was on Tucker Carlson, and this is when he finally lost me because uh, Vice President Prince is a believer. I'm a believer, and I respect him for that. Um, but when he went on Tucker Carlson, and Tucker Carlson was talking about uh, needing to send more tanks to Ukraine. So he asked Pence, he said, "Isn't it more important to take care of America than to send tanks to Ukraine?" And this is where Pence lost me. And you can Google this too. When I tell you something, you can go and Google it. I'm not going to just throw things out there to be throwing things out, but Pence responded, "It's not my concern." Those were his exact words. In fact, I went back because it was about a year. No, it was about 3 years ago that Tucker Carlson did this interview. So I just wanted to make sure I went back and I watched the interview yesterday when I was putting the show together, and those were his exact words. He said, he responded by saying, "American people are not my concern. We've got to get these tanks to Ukraine." Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But, we're talking about before the show, we have been getting And my producer Juan will probably be kind of amazed to hear this, but uh, um, I had we've been getting a lot of listeners writing us saying that we should do an insurance show in Los Angeles, and we actually had a mortgage company on yesterday out of Los Angeles, and I said, should people who've lost everything be contacting you? And he said, no, actually, they should contact a good insurance lawyer. So I'm going, gosh, we're getting all these letters from listeners. We just had one of our expert in mortgage business tell me that um, we should get an insurance lawyer show. So last night I started emailing insurance lawyers um, in Los Angeles to come on our show. And I got one response right away. And the attorney said, I definitely want to come on your show. And I was really excited because I got somebody that fast. Usually it takes a couple days. And uh, then he brought up, he said to me, you know, I hope we won't be talking about that federal criminal that's going to the White House, of course, meaning Trump. And boy, I knew I was in trouble then. So I bit my tongue. And then about 1 o'clock in the morning, I got an email from him saying, I've changed my mind. I don't want to be on a show with a conservative host. You know what? If it were the other way around, that would have never happened. But I cannot believe the hate that's still out there. And I didn't even write him back. It wasn't even worth it at all. But that was the reason he said he didn't want to come on the show. And we don't talk about politics on any of our expert shows. We talk about legal areas of the law, we talk about health areas, we talk about financial areas, but we don't ever really get into politics at all. So I was really surprised about that. And, I kind of bring this up leading up to, in the next 4 days, TikTok is supposed to go off the air. Now, I don't know if President Trump is going to save it or not, but the thing that bothers me about TikTok is I'm into free speech, you know, the First Amendment. And gosh, you've got to watch your mouth on TikTok. Now, if you're on regular radio like we used to be on or TV, there's about 7 or 8 words you just do not say. And I'm okay with that because I don't really use those words in my communications anyway. But with TikTok, gosh, you're not allowed to say uh, abortion, not allowed to say uh, gun, not allowed to say murder. Um, you've got to use code words. And it's so sad that we here in the United States that we have to watch everything single thing we say. Now, since I've been promoting this show, I have gotten a lot of emails from people that don't like the idea about me doing a MAGA show. That's okay. Everybody does what they want to do. And I got to tell you, some of the messages I got were so harsh. The name calling, it just blows me away. I mean, people I've never met in my life, and just saying that, you know, and I would think that people would want changes made, that they can't be happy with the way things are, not the way they are now. And whether it's you've got an R in front of your name or a D in front of your name, um, I just can't believe people don't want the better of America. I mean, God, we go to the grocery store and I just bought coffee the other day. Coffee that used to be $7 for a can of coffee, and it's $16 now. Now, and it's not just coffee, of course, it's everything. I went to have my a battery in my car installed. It's usually about $220. $450 to have a battery installed. I mean, prices keep going up and up and up, and it's got to stop. So I want change made, and I see that our guest, my co-host, has joined us. Let's see if we can bring her on. One, we're waiting for Sophia to come on, and what I was saying is that and every day we read about uh, gang members, illegals who've come across the border who are murdering children. I mean, I watched that speech last night, and Juan, you can bring Sophia up if she's in the studio. So I was listening to some of the pardons that Biden made. It was just it it didn't make any sense. Do you know he pardoned a two brothers yesterday, illegals yesterday, who were part of a huge gang in New Jersey, who murdered seven people. Two of them were young girls, and these gangs don't just murder people; they seem to have to cut them up. I mean, I hate to be so grotesque, but and he pardoned them yesterday, both of the brothers. And there she is. Hi, Sophia.
Hello. Hi. How are you, Steve? Nice to see
Doing
you.
good. I was just telling everybody that I was so upset yesterday with Biden's pardons that he pardoned two gang members who killed seven people, two of them being young girls, and pardoned them. And I just I could not believe it.
I spoke to some people today, and they say what this administration, I don't want to say names, but what this administration, whoever is behind this administration, is doing uh, behind Biden's name should be treason. They should be tried for treason, literally for treason. I mean, they literally have hours to I mean, hours and a couple of days left, and they are creating so much havoc to everybody, to our economy, to our national security, to the world security, to everything. I mean, look, the price of oil just went up because while they were
I
buying,
noticed that.
we were buying oil from Iran. Now all of a sudden they stopped all imports from Iran. You know, what kind of games are these?
Sophie, I was telling people, first of all, it's so sad that
Mhm.
there's still so much hate around. I was telling everybody that we had a new expert in
Yeah,
insurance law and he was in Los Angeles, so it's a big area now in Los
right.
Angeles. and
Yes.
he wanted to come on the show. And then he called me, or he emailed me last night late and saying, I don't want to come on a conservative show. Are you kidding me? Here, we're
After
trying
what's
to get
happened.
out information to people in Los Angeles who are hurting so bad, Sophia, and he brings politics into it.
It should not be. It should not be about. I'm sorry, I'm calling you from my workplace. So if there's any disruptions, but it should not be. It's not about politics at this point. It's about common sense. Okay. I mean, the reason we like Donald J. Trump is because he's American all the way. Okay. I'm not saying that he can do everything right or he will fix everything. He's not. But at least he tries, and there's common sense involved. It's not that we agree with everything he does or he says, but and from what he has been trying to achieve, we see that he has a global. I mean, he has a bigger picture. He sees the bigger picture. He sees the implication of the actions. Like that's why he wants access to Greenland. That's why he wants access to the Panama Canal. People don't see that you have to be. It's like playing chess. You have to plan your next move. And with this administration, there was no planning, no long-term vision, no other than a short-term gain. And there was no plan. I mean, seriously, you know what it feels like the enemy is behind the gates, that somebody hates this country, somebody hates us. I'm looking at my staff. I own a restaurant, so I'm looking at my staff. They work uh, hundreds of hours to just make ends meet, to just get literally minimum wage, but they have to subsidize loans to people that don't even show up for work, that don't come to the office. That why dishwashers, painters, plumbers. Well, these guys make a little bit more money, but why people who are on an hourly wage have to pay for somebody's loan? I paid for my loan. You understand me? Why somebody else has to pay for somebody's loan? Why elderly people who are on Social Security? Why they have to subsidize somebody's loans, college loans?
Yesterday, I watched, it was so hard, Sophia. I watched Biden do his farewell speech.
And he was so mean too. Huh?
It was so hard. First of all, he blamed the fires in Los Angeles on the climate change, and he included North Carolina in there too. And he was bragging about all the jobs, 17 million jobs. But you know what? And this is why we're doing a show like this. Do you know how many people lost their jobs? And I won't say the word because we're not allowed to say it, but do you know how many people lost their jobs over the virus? And he didn't get it. In fact, some of the jobs he said he got, they came back and said they were a lot lower.
What I don't understand is that they said today on one of the radio shows, they said on TV that his approval rating is 36%. I want to talk to this 36%. I want to see who is the one who supports him, literally, because it doesn't make any sense at all. Like literally, no sense. Not because we're Republicans and he's a Democrat. I don't think he's a Democrat. First of all, he's just an enemy of the state at this point. To me, in my mind, anyway. I'm sorry, it's my personal opinion, but he's an enemy of the state. Nothing else. He's not a Republican. He's not a Democrat. He's not American altogether, as far as I'm concerned. In last spring he forbade all the exports of natural gas to the world, right? So right now it's winter and it's cold in Europe. I called my mother the other day, and she said here, and they converted to natural gas a long time ago because it was cheaper than oil. Because Europe doesn't have, not all the countries in Europe have oil, and they definitely don't have natural gas. So here, monthly bill is 820 euros, which is $1,000 for natural gas, because they have to import it from Russia or from God knows where, So, you and I kept saying this, that he was feeding the war from both sides. I mean, he was literally feeding the war from both sides. So when you the first day he came in office, he stopped the pipeline from Canada, right? So the price of oil went up. That's why we have so much inflation. So who do you think made billions of dollars? Putin.
Yes.
Then you send money to Putin this way, and then you send money to Ukraine the other way for weapons. So you're feeding the war with both hands. So you tell me, who wants this war to go on other than Biden or
So
the people that he represents? You
speaking
understand?
of wars, I got to ask you. So,
Yes.
looks like in Israel that the ceasefire is going to happen. So last night, Biden was bragging. He said, "This is the same proposal I gave a year ago." Well, think about that, Sophia. Why didn't they do anything the whole year? All of a sudden, Trump comes out and says, if this isn't settled before the inauguration, there will be hell to pay.
Let him take the credit that he's the reason for this ceasefire. But I want him to tell us who is the reason behind that war. If he didn't give Iran the money, if he didn't buy oil from Iran, Hamas, who's funded from Iran, wouldn't do what they did. You understand me? Like, and to have more than a year and a half now to have that many hostages and Americans and Jewish people and young people and people who were innocent and had nothing to do in this fight, he's the one who funded it all. The same way that he funded the Ukraine war. I mean, they wanted it. It's, I don't know how to say this to you, but now even to very simple people that are not involved in politics, that don't even care about politics, it's very obvious that there was a plan. You understand me? That all of this was planned, that they're doing things on purpose, that the deep state is deeper than deep.
Yes.
And somebody's benefiting from all of this. Why would you give an award, the highest award in this country, to George Soros? Why?
That's what he was talking about last night. He said, we've got to stop this dark money. And here he gives an award to George Soros. It doesn't get any darker money than that.
Like you were talking about his last night's speech, he also criticized that the fact that Meta, Zuckerberg, Facebook, and Instagram are not going to censor people. So how did it all start? It started with Michelle Obama, who wanted to censor it. She asked the social media to remove Donald Trump from social media. Now, that was before the election. You remember that last time?
Yes.
So, okay. Someone going to ask one question. I don't care which, if Michelle Obama is Republican or a Democrat. Does any one of us have the right to ask anybody or to remove anybody from social media? It's free speech. It's a right that we have all. That's why we live in this country, because this is our right. This is our amendment. This is free speech. It's something that you're American. This is all America is all about. So Michelle Obama, an attorney and the wife of an ex-president, nonetheless, she goes on public and she says, remove him from social media. And nobody says, are you crazy, lady? Why would you say that? You don't like what Biden says. You don't turn him off. You listen and you say, I don't like what he says. You don't say, take him off the social media. Nobody ever said, take Biden off social media. Take Kamala Harris off social media. Yes, we were appalled at how stupid were some things that they were saying, but we never said shut them off, right? If they do damage, they do to their own selves. So now Biden is upset because social media decided not to censor people. I don't know. I mean, they say things and they I don't know, they either think we're stupid or the 36% that still supports him doesn't understand what it really means. You agree with me?
Sophia, you have one of the finest restaurants, I think, in South Florida. It's a Greek cuisine. I'm going to let you say the name if you want, but you walk around and you talk to patrons at the tables. Are they still talking about politics or no?
Let me tell you, I don't think I have one customer that supports Biden anymore. And if you saw the elections, okay, the only states that they went blue are the states that didn't require a proof of voter ID. Okay, so I don't want to say much without evidence. I mean, you and I are not in the business of looking at evidence, so we don't. But it will be very hard to find somebody who will support this insanity. To support DEI measures, you want people, okay, you want people to judge you not on in terms of your color or your age or your ethnicity. You want people to judge you in terms of your capability. That's how I hire people. I don't look at them at the color of their skin. I don't care what they do in their private life. I don't care what their sexual orientation is. I don't care if they're tall or short or you understand me. You hire people. You get the people to do. You hire an attorney. You hire a doctor. You hire an accountant based on their capabilities, not on their sexual orientation, not on the color of their skin, not on anything. You only hire them for their skill. The same thing with in the real world. I mean, whatever they were preaching, I don't know which country they were preaching it to or what people believed in all of this. You understand me? I mean, if I'm Greek, I was born and raised in Greece. So if tomorrow they come out with a law that says, oh, you should only hire Greeks, I would be offended. Because people will look at me like, you didn't get the job because you were capable. You got the job because you're Greek. You understand me? It's demeaning to differentiate people in terms of color, in terms of sexual orientation, in terms of any of this. It's just, I don't know. This is what division is. They promoted division more. I've been in this country for 41 years. I've never seen 42. I've never seen so much somebody promoting division to this extent. And I
There's
guess
a comedian named Adam Carolla who he just lost his house, and he said he was at one time broke, so he said, I'm going to go work for the fire department, and he went in there and filled out an application, and they said, come back in 7 years. And they finally contacted him. I don't know if you saw this or not, and a lady in line, a black woman in line in front of him, he said, how long have you been waiting? She said, I just got told last week.
Yes. She applied the week before while he was waiting for 10 years to serve at the Los Angeles Fire Department. Yes, I read the story too. And so I believe it's real. And but that's what it is. And now, and don't forget, they fired a lot of firefighters because of the vaccines, because unless you were vaccinated, you couldn't stay at work at the fire department in California. So, my body, my choice, it only applies to abortion, not to anything else with these people. You agree?
What do you think about, so did you watch the Senate confirmation?
Yes, I saw the attack on Pete Hegseth the other day. And
he's the first one I wanted to bring up. Yeah. First of all, I couldn't believe all the hecklers that were in there.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I mean, I saw little bits and pieces here and there, but I enjoy. I mean, first of all, he graduated from Harvard. He's a decorated veteran, and then I like the way he handled it, and I like the way that Senator Mullen really came back to his. Remember the Republican senator? They came back to his Democratic senators, and he tore them apart.
How many of you have come here drunk before? How many of you have lost your wives for cheating?
Yes. So it was nice how they stood up their ground without insulting anybody. I mean, and everything was done very nicely. And then Pam Bondi, being from Florida, we all know how capable she is.
She did incredible. Her Adam Schiff, I knew he was going to jump in after her, and she got in about, hey, you were censored.
No, but it's not even.
Well, don't worry about your state with the high crime.
It's not even the volley that happened between them. What was really surprising to me is that we have so many issues. Okay, as a business owner, I'll tell you, we have a million issues. Our traffic is still down. People don't have money to spend. Mortgages are high. Insurance is out of control. We have a million issues, like simple people like you and me. We have a million issues we have to battle every day. Okay, so we work like hamsters on a wheel all day long just to pay fees and regulations and this and that. So all he worried about is like smearing her name and not asking her about the real issues. Where she stands with the real issues. All he worried about is if she's going to pardon the January 6th, people. Uh, and none of them were armed. None of them committed a crime. But they don't worry about the crime on the streets. They don't worry about the homelessness. They don't worry about the millions of illegal immigrants that are plaguing every city in America. I mean, he didn't worry about the issues. All he worried is about, I don't know. I don't know what I don't know what
You
kind of
know what
world they
people
live in.
forget, Sophia, is do you remember in Washington and in Seattle, Washington, and I think in Oregon, people were burning down. Black Lives Matter were burning down state buildings, burning them down,
Yes,
and no one got arrested.
nobody got arrested. Nobody. That's not an issue. You ever hear any talk show host talk about this in television or
Never.
anything else? No. And Black Lives Matter has nobody supporting it now. They were a bunch of crooks that raised a lot of money and they embezzled it. I mean, it was like everybody's life matters. You understand me? It should not be black or white or yellow or where. There's so many difference of shades of every color in this country. I mean, color should not even be an issue. It's I don't know. This is
You're right, and it seems like uh, you're a racist if you voted for Trump, and it just doesn't make sense. But I wanted to say something before you came on. We've been promoting this show, and Sophia, I got to tell you, I got so many hate mail.
oh you did.
People going. I mean, it's still amazing how much hate is out there. And listen, you know what? When Biden got elected or Obama, you know what? I said, you know what? That's our president. Might not like it, but that's our president. But with Trump, there's just something about people that just, and there's just so much hate out there. Here's a man I think is going to help turn this country around.
Well, what I don't understand is okay. So he's old, he's senile, and they covered it up. Okay, so he was
Yes,
talking about term limits. He was talking about term limits last night. He was talking about Pelosi's term
which
limit.
you've talked about forever.
Yes, because we do need term limits. Look, after a certain age, they should not be allowed to serve, but it should be case by case altogether. And maybe if they tested his competency, if they allowed us to see what they didn't allow us to see, he wouldn't be president the first time around. Uh, First of all, they didn't allow RFK Jr. to run on a Democratic ticket. Look, is that censorship? This is only what you do in Russia or in countries that have no democracy. Why wouldn't you allow RFK Jr. to be on the He was running for a Democratic nomination, right? Why wouldn't they allow him to run as a Democrat? So
You know, Vice
let the
President
people
Pence is
decide.
out there.
Uh,
He's out there right now trying to stop the Senate from approving Kennedy. And something's really strange about it. He's out there. This, I guess, one of the companies he's now endorsing now is not to vote for Kennedy. I wonder what they have to hide.
but people like Kennedy. I like
Like
Kennedy.
Big Pharma, maybe.
I like Kennedy.
I
Um,
do too.
I like Kennedy. I like Tulsi Gabbard, that's from Hawaii. I really like. Let's focus on what we like. Okay, I really like what President Trump is doing. That's putting a coalition together of the smartest people, the most capable
Yeah.
people from every corner of life, from every color, and it doesn't matter where they are because this is what America is. Okay, we come from diverse backgrounds. We come from where we have different knowledge, different opinions, and this country is always about the middle. It's not about extreme right or extreme left. So, and this is what's so refreshing about this administration. It's almost like I believe the Trump 2.0 will be a lot more refreshing than the Trump 1.0. Because right now we all know what we want. We experience the other side for a little bit, at least for the first 2 years. I'm shocked that we don't have it should be better, but I'm shocked that we don't have a bigger majority in the House of Representatives, and it's
I
going to
know.
be a challenge. I'm
That's
al-
scary.
Yeah, I almost question, in my humble opinion, I don't know all the facts. Why would he take so many people out of the House of Representatives, like Elise Stefanik and other people, to serve in his administration, while that weakens the House of Representatives? You
I
understand?
agree.
So, I mean, that's my humble opinion on the
Did you
outside. We
see
don't
who our new AG is today? The new senator is who's taken Marco Rubio
know who.
place. He nominated Ashley Moody, our AG.
Oh, very nice. She's also a very capable woman. Oh my God! So where does that leave Florida?
So it looks like uh, who else? We have Waltz to replace in the Congress.
Yes,
Uh,
very, very nice. I mean, we have a
what's
very,
going to happen with Getz?
he's capable man. Okay, we have a very solid, very deep bench in this party. Okay, and it comes. They're all from different. First of all, it's all youthful people. Am I right? Wrong? This is
You're right.
the most youthful cabinet I've ever seen. I really like JD Vance. Uh,
Yes,
okay, so it shows that Trump is very, very confident to pick a young, so eloquent vice president. It shows how much he cares about this country. He doesn't just care about his presidency, he cares about the future of this country. You understand me?
oh,
Because,
totally.
okay, so this is what Biden didn't care. That's why he didn't let the people decide who his the next successor is going to be. He appointed Kamala Harris. You understand me? So this is how much he cared about this country. I don't understand a man who has so many grandchildren, so many children. He doesn't care about this country, doesn't care about the future of even his own children. I guess they made so many billions that it doesn't really matter, right?
They sure have a lot of millions at least.
But they don't. He doesn't care about his name
But
or
how
about
did
his
he get them
legacy.
though?
Uh okay, that's for somebody else to find out. We're not in that position. But I really like that Trump cares about the future of this country. You understand me? And not only that, because the insanity that was happening here the last 4 years, it transferred to the rest of the world, and that's not a pretty picture. The promoting the sex change on children, promoting all this, the Green New Deal. There's a lot of okay. As a scientist, I study biology, so uh, the uh, the global warming. Okay, the Middle Ages. Let me go back. The Middle Ages are associated with when the Earth was much cooler. So you understand me? Global warming is not necessarily a bad thing, and they don't even know if it's because of the fossil fuels, because the core of the Earth is warmer than anything else, and that's what raises the temperature. So it's not the sun is very warm, so it's not exactly fossil fuels that raise the temperature. They just found an easy target. If you read enough, you understand me? There are a lot of things that
Yes.
warm up the planet. So not necessarily CO2 or methane gas or the cows, or they don't use animals to graze in California because they're afraid of the methane that they produce, with their for global warming. And that's why they look at the catastrophe. I mean, it's like literally biblical catastrophe in California, because they refuse to clean the forest. They refuse to have
Yes.
animals graze. They refuse to do a lot of things. So this is
Cut
sadly
budgets.
stop. So and it breaks your heart to see. I think it's the fifth largest economy in the world to be
Yes.
to be brought to its knees. All of us will have to bury the weight, and to see so many people lose their homes. They have no clothes, no schools, no homes, no food, no water, no nothing, and no insurance. Or by the time any kind of help gets to them, it might be too late. Imagine if you have children, if they have to go to school tomorrow. I mean, this is total devastation, the ramifications of which we'll be seeing for years and decades probably. I mean, how are you going to rebuild all of this?
I want to ask you one more thing before we go. Um,
We have to go already.
what did you think? Yeah, we're about 5 minutes. What did you think that 140 Democrats voted against sending illegal sex crime people, not allowing them to be deported? 140 people in the Congress.
Well, what do you expect when they allowed them to come in the country without any
How do you explain that to your constituents?
Well, I think all the press in this country and the everyday channels that people watch should do a better job at reporting the facts, not comments. You know what I mean? We don't need talks. We don't need talking heads. All we need is the facts. So give them the facts that 140 Congress people voted against deporting criminals.
Right. Sex crime. I mean, not just illegals, but illegals who've committed sex crimes.
I don't know. I'm telling you, there's no logic. That's why Trump won with an overwhelming majority. And it doesn't, I don't know. My brain is not big enough to fit. How would anybody still support Biden? That's why I question that 36%.
36, yes, exactly. Are you looking forward to 2025? By the way, Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you. I'm looking forward to the next 4 years. I'm looking forward to the next 12 years between you and me, because as I said, I really do like the choice of J.D. Vance. And it's nice that we have somebody from the middle, from Ohio, right? From the middle of the country, because the coasts have not been doing a very good job, have they? You know what I mean?
You see where Trump wants to, he wants DeWine, the governor of Ohio, to make Vivek the new senator.
Vivek Ramaswamy is he's a new star. I'm very excited about what Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy will do. I'm very excited about this. We need accountability. I come from a country that went bankrupt in 2010 because our borders were opened. We literally had an invasion from all the Eastern European countries, from Albania, because they were all communist. And then when they came in, we gave them free wealth, free everything. Free healthcare, free education, there's no such thing as free anything. Somebody has to pay it. And Greece went bankrupt like this because politicians were printing money, giving money to the people they wanted them to vote, enlarging the government. We have to shrink the government. We have to shrink the debt. So that's why I'm appalled with the senators when they ask silly questions from these nominees, and they don't focus on the real issue. What are they going to do about the debt? How are they going to treat the criminals? Because these are the issues that we care about. We don't care about bullshit. Excuse my because we don't care. January 6th, this is what the courts decide if somebody is guilty or not guilty. This is not our job. It's not. You understand me? But what really plagues us, everyday people, the stupid people that we work every day and send our taxes to Washington, D.C., is crime, security, inflation. This is what we worry about. Am I right?
Sophia, got this. It went by so fast. We're going to do this once a month. It's called Mega at the Dinner Table, because we are going to talk about it at the dinner table. We'll be back with you next month. Sophia, we could have gone on for 2 more hours easily.
Yes. And I'm sorry I was a little late. But
it's okay. It's okay. You're excused. Thank you. So I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That's Sophia Malona. She is such a sweetheart. She's got one of the finest Greek restaurants in South Florida. She'll be back with us again next month. And send us your questions. That's going to do it for us today. We will be back again next week with our Ask the Expert show. Thank you, Juan. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.